What's going on, guys? We're back. We got a special guest for today's video. This is the Brewski, Miss Brucifer, Miss Brutini Shake, Miss Bruhemoglobin, Miss Bruhilda, Miss. That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. Anyways, we got some cool combat footage. Actually, looks like from some number of the SSO Special Operations Forces of Ukraine. These were actually posted from a couple of friends in the Discord. Shout out to the boys in Discord for pulling or sending me this stuff because I have a feeling it's gonna be really good. So, but I have to mention now, YouTube is telling me I need to mention that this is for educational purposes. This viewer discretion advised. This is for to educate people and so you can see what's happening here in Ukraine. Okay, a lot of you guys already knew that, but it seems like they want me to mention it so I don't get my videos age restricted. Hopefully anymore. We'll see how this one goes. Also, speaking of Discord, we've got a ton of resources in Discord. We have resources for recruitment of different units here in Ukraine, how to get into Ukraine. We talk about what's going on in the world in different chats, movie chat, gaming chat. And then we have a few different channels for our paid members, YouTube members. When they go into Discord, they have access to the uncensored archive, thousands of disturbing videos, to be frank, of just the uncensored stuff we can't show here on YouTube. So if you want to support what I do here in Ukraine, me making content and stuff, best way to do that is become a member and then hop in the Discord. I talk with you guys all day, every single day. So do that. Link in description. Let's see what's going on here, you guys. This is like 2 or 3 short videos, and they're pretty jam-packed, high speed. Damn it.
You got the camera on.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Hey, that one, I wasn't prepared yet, so that one doesn't count.
Look, there's a track. Someone set it off.
See? I'll hang my coat and go down there. Procedure.
Come on with me. Enter from the right.
That's a gunfight, baby.
All good. Heads.
Moving to us. And then across the lines. Down one in the head, other slightly to the left.
One should be hiding to your right. He's low.
I see.
Okay, well, I can't show that. Good lord. Sorry, I'll have to blur that, but we'll keep the uncensored stuff in the Discord. Again, I'm trying to not get in trouble here on YouTube.
He's got a launcher.
On his back, guys. It.
Come on.
Bro, hold up.
Come on. Oh, go over there.
Backpack. My grenade smoking. I dropped my pack. What's up? Back. What? He started shooting. Just the backpack. My grenade's smoking. I threw it. Oh, he's throwing smokes. That's our squad? Most likely they ran over there towards the houses.
Anyone need medkits?
Medkit's here. Take one. Good one. Okay. Let's go. Lucky I took that purse.
Take the documents from the dead guy.
Got everything. Come on. They grabbed the high ground. Let's get out of here. New backpack. Nice.
That was sick, dude. That was like some of the coolest footage we've seen in a long time, and we see a lot of cool shit on this channel. So a little bit of context, you guys. This special operations team was sent out to eliminate a known Russian recon element in the area. So this is like a counter recon team, and you can tell they're pretty damn good at it too. So it sounded like that dude was like dry heaving. I think that was the adrenaline dump. It sounded like when they opened up on him, they shot through his backpack and hit the grenades in his pack. But if you shoot a grenade, it doesn't go off. The fuse actually is what detonates the grenade, right? Most of the time. I'm sure there's grenades you can shoot that do go off, but there's so they engaged. It looks like they won the gunfight. Some of the Russians retreated, and that guy just had a massive adrenaline dump, which I don't blame him. I want to share a story with you guys real quick. Speaking of ambushes, like what they just walked into, my buddy Ivan, I've talked about him on the channel before. Shout out to Ivan. We were in the International Legion together, actually. We first met in January of 2023. We were in 1st Battalion, International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine, deployed to Kupiansk. He got injured in Kupiansk, went back home, came back and joined Azov, and we were in the International Battalion together. But we were in 2 different assault teams, and his assault team went basically to do a similar mission to this, go find a known element of Russians that were in the area and dispose of them. There's only supposed to be a couple of them. And Ivan was point man. And I don't want to get like too descriptive because it might get confusing, but long story short, there's decent spacing between each soldier in Ivan's team. And they're in like a ranger file patrol formation, moving towards a position. And these pretty well-trained Russians got snuck up in the middle of the night and set up in really good ambush positions, L-shaped ambush. And our guys were walking right into it. And Ivan was point man walking right into it. And basically, Ivan was moving and got shot straight in the chest. Wham! Hit him right in his UAR-15. Shot him in his UAR. Ivan turned 6 or 7, just smoked the dude that was in a ghillie suit like these guys that had shot at him. Killed him, dropped down, the gunfire started going boom everywhere. So our guys start laying fire back into him, and effectively they were stuck in an ambush. Luckily, shout out to the homie Utah, who is no longer with us. Utah was carrying the mini-me, the light machine gun, and he was able to just put down tons of fire, as well as the other guys, and get some fire superiority in the gunfight. And so Ivan was able to pull back, and they were able to bound backwards and retreat from the situation. And then we had artillery and drones eliminate the Russians who ambushed them. But it just reminded me, this guy with the backpack story, right? He he got shot in his backpack, and clearly he's okay, and they won that gunfight. And I'm willing to bet that guy killed the guy that shot him in the backpack, just like Ivan with the guy that shot him square in the chest. So crazy. I have a photo. If I can find the photo, I'll put it up right here. I have a photo of it though, of his rifle. Super, super cool. All right, and then here's another one. This one's only 2 minutes.
Embaixo de lateral muro. Já eu.
So there's Russians in this like drainage ditch underneath the road. If I'm not mistaken, this is a mini-me right here. Same type of machine gun Utah was using in that ambush I was telling you about. The Belgian-made, like saws, kind of shorter barrel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a machine gunner. Damn, so they took a casualty. Wonder when that happened. So this is their Kazivac vehicle. Their rendezvous position was right here. It looks like at the end of the that Posadka, that tree line. So the team's waiting in there with the casualty. The Kazivac vehicle that usually has a driver and then a medic and maybe one rifleman in the back, depending on how much space there is. But there's typically a medic in the back. It'll back into the trees like this. Back in, load them up. This is a Humvee, it looks like. It's a Humvee with a cage. Load up the guys and haul ass out of there. Cool video though. Part of the thing I wanted to point out in this one was number one, the hideout that these Russians are in. Super good position. So maybe I shouldn't say super good position, but it's nicely hidden, right? Obviously you can't tell if anybody's walking up on you if you're in this position typically, but that's kind of the case in most boondages. They have to be, if they're secure, then they've got to be deep enough and hidden enough to be safe from drones. But if that's the case, then it's hard to see and hear enemy infantry approaching. Also wanted to point out just the quality of the suppressor. See, you see a lot of cheap suppressors out here in Ukraine, and if the cheap ones were to fire like this one is right now, it just melts and fuses to the barrel. I've seen them shoot off of the the gun, either the rifle or the machine gun before as well. That's a good one though. You can kind of see, though, why it's one of my worst fears and most people's worst fear is getting stuck in one of these bunkers like this, because there's nothing you can do. You just sit there and wait to one of the grenades eventually ends you, basically. All right, and then the last one we got here, it says Ukrainian SOF team took out a Russian reconnaissance group during close combat in a forest, and this was at the very end of last year. I believe this is a thermal holographic optic.
Бачу капонір, і від капоніра хтось рухається вглиб лісу. Бачу раз, два, три, чотири, п'ять.
Це гасіть їх всім, що можна. І дай по часам, на яку годину.
Artillery.
Передають, що в них важкий 300. І, ймовірно, я так предполагаю, що може бути в районі 4 точки.
Иди! Ползи, сука! Ползи! Где второй? Ползи!
Bless you.
Ползет? Где автомат? Автомат где? Выбрасывай! Наверх давай! Ползи! Вперед! Ползи, сука! Ребят на Украине, блядь!
Three captives on that one. We've seen a lot of stuff from these guys lately, and it looks like the chevron looks like, what is that? It looks like it should be a fourth SSO group, right? But every time we see these guys, it says 8th SSO when it talks about them. So I don't fully understand what chevron this is, what SSO group this is. But something you'll notice I wanted to mention too, that's more and more common, and you see it almost in most, at least like assault style videos now, are these, of course that guy's not wearing one, but the leaf suits. And they can serve two purposes, right? Obviously it is extremely difficult to see someone in these ghillie suits. The Russians are using them too. Like I told you, the unit that ambushed Ivan's team was wearing them. But some of them are also, they can help reduce your thermal signature, your heat signature, for when you're moving, and the enemy has thermal drones up. And thermal drones are more and more common. And unfortunately, you never know what kind of drone's watching you typically, especially the surveillance drones. So if you can wear something that is good for camouflage and it can reduce your thermal signature, huge. I've told you guys this story about Alfie and I. When this was his first mission, we were moving to a position to assault, and we had to stay the night in this it wasn't a great position. Um, anyways, Alfie and I ended up posting up under this like set of bushes, and I knew that the enemy had thermal drones in the area because we knew the enemy drone teams that were in our AO, and they primarily used thermal drones. So we took out one of those Mylar blankets, one of those thermal insulating blankets from your IFAC, those emergency blankets, space blankets, and basically draped it over the top of us like a tent. So these things are shiny, metallic, gold and silver colored, right? So you would think it would be the opposite of what you want for camouflage, but when you're out there, it's pitch black. You can't see anything. The only way to see is through thermal, and if you're able to reduce your thermal signature, you're basically invisible to these thermal imaging devices, whether it's nods or the thermal cameras on drones. So don't ask me how we survived that night. Maybe it was the Mylar blanket. I don't know, but I like to think it was. But we were able to all night long. It was drones over us. So either they just didn't want to waste munition on us, or they couldn't see us between the thermal blanket over us and being crouched under the bushes. But that was a long night. Rest in peace to Alfie. So, you guys, that's all I got here. Again, video for educational purposes. Let's see if YouTube takes this one down too or not. If you want to support me, what I do here in Ukraine, bringing you guys content here, best way to do that is become a member. If you become a YouTube member, you have access to the full Discord server, including all of the uncensored footage and some other channels we have in there. If you don't want to become a member and you're not able to, don't worry about it. We still have a ton of resources in our Discord. If you plan on coming here to Ukraine, maybe you want to learn about Ukraine, talk about Ukraine, whatever. Check out the Discord, you guys. Link in description. I love you. We'll see you in the next video.